what we have here is a fourth amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation, which I don't think I've seen in 17 years. But it last alleges that among other things, the fourth amended included utilizing something to fake a specimen here. Providing a urine sample in the third amended that showed drugs. Second amended showed possession of unlawful substance and tetrahydrocannabinol. First, and then it was initially alleged in each case that you didn't perform community service hours or complete anger management program. Well, now we got drug issues popping up. So, well, what are we going to do today? Is this a hearing? Ready? Are y'all ready for a hearing or what? Because
I think it's just a review of safety aftercare, Judge.
Yes, sir. I believe that's correct, Judge.
when did we send him safety?
According to my notes, July 26th of 23. He had entered a plea of true to count 6, 7, and 8, and you ordered that he go to safety.
Six, 7, and 8 of what? The fourth amended motion?
I'm
Yes,
looking at
sir.
Mr. Laird's notes, Judge, and it doesn't indicate which version. It just says count 6, 7, and 8.
I believe that's true, Judge. We had a little bit of a problem with some numbering somewhere in here, but I believe.
Well, what I
Yeah,
have
correct.
here is something that is not, I have a copy of a fourth amended motion that doesn't have a file stamp on it in each case. And also has a misnumbering on the final allegation of violations is a misnumber on each case. It goes from 7 before it to 5 and 6 before it to 5 in the other case. So there was a mistake, and I kind of remember making changes on that, but I don't have any of that. I don't know what happened to those original motions.
Judge, I have my handwritten copy.
Here, I've got it.
making
Hold
those
on,
things,
hold on.
But I don't have a copy of the thing.
I found one. But I don't find two. I found one.
Mike's notes do reflect that that was done in cause number 24480, Judge, if that assists.
Yeah. I have that original, and it was file stamped 7/25/23, and I did make. He pleaded true to allegation 6 and 7, and I had to change, add on or about a date for the fourth amended number 7, and I had to change that 7 from a 5 to a 7. All those changes were made. We did that July 26th of last year. So since then, what's happened?
He was discharged successfully from safety,
Okay.
residential safety, and he has entered the safety outpatient aftercare.
Okay.
He's only tested positive once for THC in July. He was sanctioned by us, but
Only once is only once too many.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I told him about it, and so that I had to let the court know that he had a review hearing.
How much time does he have? Upfront time. So we're doing it upfront time. You're gonna go to jail. Every time you commit a crime, you're gonna go to jail. On my watch. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
My goodness. You're gonna do 10 days in jail, sir. As a condition of probation for that. And it'll keep going up each time I get a scintilla of drugs in your system. But that's the problem from the beginning. You're looking at life imprisonment on this case, aren't you? aren't you? In the aggravated robbery?
That's correct, Judge.
You're looking at the life imprisonment and you want, and what that is all that it takes. I could revoke your probation and find you guilty and sentence you to life in prison for that. You want to flirt with that? Yes, you do. You did it. Then there's a burglary adaptation. That's up to 10 years in prison. Yeah. No. No, every time you commit a crime, which is what you did on my watch, you're gonna go to jail. You're gonna go somewhere because you've had more than your fair chance in 2016. Okay? All right? You understand? What else are you doing to help yourself?
I have to do sanctions of NA meetings. Then I also been doing my classes.
Well, how did this marijuana pop up? Were you with the CBD group? Were you eating gummy bears with the other two?
No, sir. I'm on color code.
I know, I
They-
know.
2 days after I did it, I asked them could I take another one, but apparently
See-
my color code called me 2 days later, and I was negative for it. It was like I must have been
Okay.
around it, and it went through my system. I must have just been around it. I wouldn't.
Well, you know if you're around it or not.
Yes, sir.
It has a distinct odor. But
Most
you're gonna do 10 days as a condition of probation here. Do you understand? Where are you working?
Right now, I work for lawn service company.
Okay. You wanna do weekends on that or do you work on weekends?
Well, only some weekends. It's like
Which one would you, do you wanna do 10 days in a row or weekends?
I
Which
do
would be
weekends.
3 weekends or five weekends, rather.
It'll be long if you do the weekends.
You only get two days
It'll
credit
take
on
5
weekends.
weekends.
So if he does the 10 days straight because he's in the safety aftercare, it's gonna automatically boot him out that system. And it'll unsuccessfully discharge him from the aftercare.
Where is he in the aftercare?
At HR in Port Arthur.
No, where is he in the progress of it?
He's at 90 days right now,
Uh,
and
What does he have to have?
he has to have 9 months. So if he misses 3 consecutive groups or 3 consecutive individual meetings.
All right.
dismiss him.
All right. When this is over with, you're gonna have to do 10 days in jail. Unless I change my mind.
so,
Oh, you understand?
yes, sir.
All right. But don't let this happen again. Or else all that time that you've accrued, you will have lost it on this aftercare program. Because I want to see if it's successful, but that's not the way to do it, by testing positive. Do you understand? Even if it's marijuana, everybody plays that down. Nobody really knows what's in the marijuana. That's the problem nowadays. It's being clandestine labs, it's being mixed up with all kinds of bad stuff. Unless you're mixing it up and you know what's in it.
No, sir.
Okay. All right, what do we want to do? Review and win?
I'm just saying about 3 more months.
Got it. Get a reset for 3 months, okay?
Done with the aftercare.
No, he's,
Okay.
yeah, hopefully, no, he still has 6 more months of
Yes,
aftercare.
sir.
Come forward. You are, Mr. Savoy
Yes, sir.
and, Ms. Valier is here. Your probation officer. You have been placed on probation since 2022 for the 3rd-degree felony of injury to an elderly person. So you were placed on 10 years deferred or unadjudicated probation. Also, there was restitution, I believe, that was to be ordered in the amount of $14,374.19. So it's been 2 years. Where are we on progress?
Well, since he's been on probation. he
Oh, boy,
only
I know the lady. Just like my sister, I can tell this isn't gonna end up good. Go ahead.
paid $462.
Mhm.
Since he's been on probation.
Over here, Your attention is focused right here to me, not over there. Are you kidding me?
He's autistic. I'm his mother.
Okay, come on up. Come on up. All right, most people, many people have mental illness when they come before this court. Because most of the acts that are committed defy logic and aren't typical of somebody who's stable. But this man has not been declared incompetent. This man has not been declared insane. And he may have a mental illness, a problem, but there is nothing that should prevent him from completing the requirements in this case. And he'll be held to the same standards. No one raised competency. No one raised insanity. And that was an opportunity to be done at the right time. Whoever the attorney was, if they didn't do that, that would have been a problem. But even the state had a duty to tell me if there was a problem that would prevent him from being able to follow the requirements of probation and thoroughly resolve this case. So the fact that he's imperfect, like all of us, is not a problem with me. It's just, you got a bar set and you're gonna have to get over it, which means you're gonna have to follow these requirements and get them done. And I know a lot of people who have severe disabilities who are able to work. And we're talking about the paying the loss back.
May I say
And,
something?
and, hold on, and, what other, what other, we got. How much has been paid here in 2 years? $422. You receive a disability check of $943 monthly? Right? Can you speak? Oh,
He doesn't know. I'm the one that handle his finances.
okay. I don't remember, of course, we have 5,000 cases at any given time. I don't remember, and I'm really good. I don't remember you being here when we disposed of this case, but were you here when he was going through the plea and everything?
She
No,
was
sir.
Why not? If
I
there was
wasn't told anything.
when I speak, you stop,
Yes, sir.
because when we can't both speak over each other because she has to take everything down as a court reporter and she's unable to one or more than one person speaking at one time. If this is such a problem, why weren't you here then? If we're having an issue, why are you here now? Why weren't you here at the disposition of the case to bring up anything that would have affected his ability to perform on probation? Where were you?
I was at my house
All right,
because I didn't know anything about,
you didn't know anything about it?
no, sir.
Okay. Well, you didn't know he had been indicted for injury to an elderly person back in, that was August of 22. This says this occurred on July 14th of 2021 involving somebody named Gordon Simmons. Do you know who that is?
I do not know him personally, but I do know that I believe he's probably 74, 75 years old. He's a sex offender. I was working at 7-Eleven.
Wait a second.
Yes, he is.
What,
He's a sex
well,
offender.
hold on. So if he's victimized, the fact that he is a sex offender, then he's not to be protected under the law like everybody else?
I didn't say that.
It's what you inferred.
No,
You know, why don't you, I've heard enough for you. I know where you're headed. I know where you're headed. We're not talking about the complainant. That should have been brought up at that time if that was so important to you, but it wasn't. Now, right now, I want to know why he's not following my probation terms. Why?
Well, when he reports, he comes in, he reports, he pays $20 on his fees. He's been paying that since. he
Shame
started
on you.
probation. And for the past 2 months, he had actually paid $40 on his fees. each, like, August and this month.
Okay. Are you physically able to work?
No, sir.
What are you unable to do physically? Are you able, but I mean, are you able to lift things and walk?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, that's what I mean, physically. I mean, you can like carry a box from here to there and things like that, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're not physically disabled. You don't drive a car, do you? Okay, do you walk? Are you able to walk?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to run?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to climb stairs?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. What else? What are we doing about helping him? I know we have a program to help people get employed who, have trouble getting employment because they gotta be able, we're trying to make people as independent as possible under their circumstances. So what is it we can do to help him? Because this is a lot of money that needs to get paid back. And this is hopeless at this rate. Do you live alone?
Hello.
Your mom? Who else lives in the house?
It's just us.
All right. Okay. Well, if you're gonna live with her, the right thing to do is be as independent as you can and then help pay some of the costs too, since you're living there, right? As an adult. That's what you want to do. That's what we want you to do, is to be as independent as possible. How far did you go in school?
I finished.
Did you finish?
Yes, sir.
You have a high school equivalency?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He graduated from Long Beach, Texas, but he graduated 2 years early because of his disability.
Nonetheless, he has the ability. I'm expecting better than this. You need to show some improvement on at least searching for opportunities and working with the probation office to try to get an income that can pay this back in a lifetime, because at this rate, even if you paid $100 a month, we're talking about 143 months. That's a long time, 10 years.
I'll do that.
It's not your obligation, but if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I can't stop you from doing that. But what I want is Mr. Savoy to become as independent and as successful and to achieve as much as he's able to achieve under his circumstances in life. Not to just fester, but to be productive and successful.
Do you like
That's
to-
probably, I'm sure that's what you want too.
Yes, I do, because I take him to Spinal Talk all the time.
Yes, ma'am.
He goes to Spinal Talk a lot. And his other probation officers, when he was first put on probation 2 years ago, it was a Hispanic lady. I believe her name was Maria. She's the one that explained to me that I only had to pay $10 to $20 a month
Well,
for him. So that's why I was paying.
well, it's a
him.
nominal amount, but you pay what you can, but at that rate, I mean, it'll be lifetimes to pay the complainant back, the injured party, which is, we want everybody
Mommy
to
on the
be
important
placed
call.
back
You
in
don't
the
have to
position
wait,
they were in
okay?
as best as possible, fix the problem, and then everybody move on and be the best they can be. That's what we want.
Well, the doctor doesn't want him doing community service either because of all the people. Because he hears voices and all of that stuff. So,
Was he taking medication for that?
yes, sir, he is.
Okay, once again, nobody brought up a competency issue or an insanity issue, which are issues that are the levels in determining where he is capable of functioning normal. And I haven't heard anything about it. And until then, the law says you're presumed able to do things. You're presumed unless it's shown otherwise. And this was the time to have brought it up, but nobody did.
I didn't know him to come.
Nonetheless, his attorney was a competent lawyer and handled this. But we need these people, two things: you to perform as best you can be and progress as much as you can under your circumstances, and for the people to be paid back for the loss. How that is done, I'm not going to I'm not the one fashioning the answer to it. Y'all have to figure it out like every probationer does.
Well, I've tried talking to his probation officer here.
This lady,
Yes, this lady
Mhm.
here. This is my first time seeing her and meeting her in person because when she became his probation officer, I did have a long conversation with her, talked to her, and she seemed like she was real understanding and.
she is.
And, okay, well, when I talked to her the second time over the phone, she was very rude, hanging up in my face and all that. No,
Well, look,
Hmm.
you, in all fairness to you,
Sounds
you were a
like
little
me.
abrupt today.
no, sir.
Yeah, I disagree. See, it's, I guess, a perception issue, but at the end of the day, the court makes the determinations, and
Yes.
I'm not known to be.
Yeah, and I would like
Unfair.
to, if I may, I would like to affirm for the record that I've been reviewing the file as well as the PSI that was done on this matter. There's nothing that indicates about this issue. It's not something that was noted whenever the officer read this man his Miranda warnings and provided his waiver and then admission to the particular offense that he's pled guilty to. More pointedly is that when he was given an opportunity to detail that,
Who's he?
this
The
defendant,
Mhm.
whenever he did his PSI and was given history, he didn't provide any of the history that we're hearing today.
But was he in a position to do that?
That I can't speak to, but I'm just
Appreciate,
saying,
understand what he
but
was supposed to do, but.
before
at
this
the end of
moment,
the day, see, what is your name, ma'am?
Her name is Stacy Cheek.
Ms. G, at the end of the day, the man has a college, a high school equivalency education. Unless they just gave that away, they just, I mean, that has a level of achievement where he is a competent to understand, appreciate, he knows basic subject matters and functions. No one said he was incompetent. No one claimed that he was mentally ill. See, so these are things that, if they're valid, should have been brought up a long time ago. I mean, it's like the train's been crossing the country, and now from San Francisco to Miami, as we're approaching Miami, then go, you know what? The train shouldn't have left in San Francisco. We're turning around. That's not the way it works. That's why the process is built up to deal with these along the way. But unless they're giving away high school educations, just giving it away, he would have had to have made an achievement, unless you're going to allege that those people were incompetent in their jobs.
Well, him and some other kids.
Ma'am,
Him and his other kids, he only had like 4 or 5 other kids in his class. It was a
Oh,
very
really?
small class.
well,
For special.
that's the recipe for higher learning.
For special ed.
Anyway,
And the officer that did arrest him knew that
Yes, sir.
he was a phenotop patient.
okay. Does he live with you?
Yes. he
Okay,
always has.
he's always lived with you?
Yes, always.
But I don't remember you being up here on these hearings at all.
No one has called my phone.
Well, you didn't know that the person
knew
who
he
lived in
was-
your home, your son that you're saying is not as independent as he purports to be in the file that I'm looking at,
I knew,
needed your kind of assistance? You didn't, I mean, we have a process from an initial appearance, an arraignment, hearings, then a plea hearing, then a sentencing hearing, and you never
no, sir.
bobbed up?
No, sir, because I didn't know anything, because he got arrested on the 31st of July.
Was he in custody that whole time?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
He didn't get out until right before his
But-
birthday in November.
But I mean, but all of these are public records. I mean, you never inquired if you needed to be here. You never inquired, when is he going to be in court next? When is he set for court? Because
I called.
my staff, somebody would have told you it's a public record, and you would have been able to pull dockets and look him up.
on a positive note,
All right.
Judge,
Yeah.
the probation officer points out that he was on what's labeled as the MHI caseload, which is the mental mental health initiative caseload. And he completed that and has moved forward to the mental health caseload, which he's been on since June of 2024. So
Which means what? What
means that we're
difference is that?
well, the difference,
Probation.
Forensic program, they are more hands-on with them. Go to the doctor's appointments.
Is that right, sir?
I think it was.
Are you feeling better about, are you doing better now?
Yes, sir.
Good.
So-
Okay.
my point was we're doing what we can from our side, Judge.
And again, on restitution, you gotta pay, you pay what you can under the circumstance. And that's all the law requires. But what we want really is for all people to achieve the best they can be under their circumstances. Okay. So, whatever that is, under his circumstances. What do we need to do now? Anything else to help him move forward? Yours, Mom, what else can the probation office do to help him?
It's whatever, like she had asked me, she talked to me about him doing his anger management on my laptop. I paid for that. He did it. But I did have to assist him with it, with the help
Okay,
on the laptop
Okay.
because he's not computer,
Literate.
Yes, sir. So I had to help him with that. But like, if y'all still want him to do community service or whatever, is there anything he could do besides the public, like, is there anything else?
why don't y'all work that out and let me,
Community service was waived. It was waived.
there you go, there's your answer.
Is there anything else you want him to do?
No, that's all we have to do. It's just his fees.
Try to get an income to be able to pay the restitution back. I know you're saying, oh, I'll pay it, but I'd rather him meet an obligation, which is normal and customary for everybody. When we have an obligation, a debt, that we have to pay, we're required to pay it back. And I'd like to see him do it and be as responsible a person as I think he is able to be under his circumstances. Want to achieve as close to normalcy as he's able to, right? That's what
Yes,
we
sir.
all want.
Yes, sir, I do. That's what I'm trying to ask her, how much do you want me to pay? Because if I pay, which.
Here's what we're gonna do. I want y'all to, can you work
I'll
with
be
that
on.
later? And then run it by me and see, because at the end of the day, I'm the last decision maker on it and sign off on it.
Okay.
But if y'all can resolve something that is reasonable, I'm always agreeable to it.
Yes, sir.
But also whatever we can help him be the best he can be.
Okay.
And you live with him every day. We just see him part-time.
Right.
So work with her she'll get to me on modifying any terms and conditions of probation that can help him successfully complete this.
Okay.
And he does well. We always reward people by shortening their term of probation.
Yes, sir. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? You know how.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
Yeah. We reward. Okay. That's a fact. I do it every day. Because
I
we
appreciate
can't do 5,000 people. And if they get it fixed, we're on the right track, then good. We trust they'll do fine. We've
Yes,
got
sir.
others, we have fires we have to fight. And if it's not a fire, we can move on. Okay, thank you.